Why should people receiving benefits, food stamps, or Medicaid, any assistance from the government, be drug tested? I'm Amber Lane, and I'm giving my opinion on why. If I have to pass a drug test to get a job and to have a random test done to keep my job, then those that receive assistance should have to pass a test to get my tax dollars. I work hard, and to see that people are taking advantage of it just makes me wonder, why shouldn't they be drug tested? I agree with the treatment for those who fail. I'd rather give my tax dollars to those to help them receive the help they need to then clean themselves up and be a great member of society and get out there and get a job and support the family that they have. As far for paying for the test, of course, all will argue that those seeking assistance cannot afford to pay for it. And that's why I would rather spend my tax dollars on that. Since I am paying for their drug use anyway, since they are using food stamps or any kind of assistance they get to trade out with people and receive those drugs. What about the suffering children? They are already suffering if their parents are deadbeat druggies who would rather shoot up than give their kids a sandwich. To me, if these kids are suffering, even if their parents are receiving benefits, why are you letting these children stay with these people? Why aren't you giving them into homes, people who want kids, who can't have kids? That's another subject. Lower the price to receive these kids. Give these kids a good home to go to, instead of people using children to receive benefits. Take them children out of these homes and give them to people who deserve them. I've seen tons of cases where people are just popping out kids. The more kids you have, the more money you get. I work my butt off. My husband works his butt off. And we have in the past received food stamps because we were struggling. He was working temporary job, didn't know if he was working one week or the next. I, of course, go to school full time, and we have a 2-year-old little daughter. We did receive food stamps. You saw my husband out every day that he wasn't working, trying to find a job, because sometimes I felt embarrassed being in that line and giving food stamp card to that person because they looked at you weird. And why do we do that? When someone has food stamps, why do we look at them like they're a complete failure? They could be hard workers like me and you, but still can't make it. You know how society is. One minute you have a job and the next you don't. You don't know the case of how these people are. That's why I do believe that people should be drug tested. If I got to have one every 3 months for working my job, why can't these people? These people are only checked up every 6 months. That's how it was when I was on food stamps. Every 6 months you went in for a reevaluation, made sure you still had your job. If your job changed, you had to report anything. Are these people reporting changes? Are these people reporting that they got a job? Are they working and saying they're not and still receiving all that money for food, for Medicaid, anything else they receive? How do we know that these people are telling the truth? We don't. We gotta take their word for it. That's why I believe that the only way to test these people in and out of the benefits they receive is to drug test them. I believe that that's the only way we can tell if people really need these. If you're using drugs, don't take my tax dollars that I work hard for and use them to shoot up instead of feeding your children. Children are more important than drugging yourself up to forget about your worries. Look at your kids. How can you look at them and let them starve? I don't understand how people are these days. That's why I believe people should be drug tested if they are receiving food stamps. Thank you.